10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Virtus.pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome back, everybody, to the International European Qualifier, the last match of the day, well, possibly for this stream. Depends whether or not we get into a tiebreaker scenario, and this is where it gets really interesting. Right now, we have 4 different teams sitting at 3 and 5, and one team in that 4th place slot sitting at 4 and 4. Now, what conceivably could happen is that all 4 of those 3 and 5 teams, they're all facing someone else. They could all win their match and go 4 and 5. Which is an interesting scenario because they're all, but none of it matters if this game goes the way of Virtus.pro. If Virtus.pro lose against hehe, then those other teams have a chance to be able to tie for 4th place and we go into a tiebreaker scenario. But if Virtus.pro win this, they go 5 and 4, in which case they're out of reach for those other teams. So guys, let's go ahead, jump into it. hehe versus Virtus.pro. As we already have the draft underway, go ahead and welcome in my co-caster. Dirk is going to be joining me once again.
Good afternoon. Wisp first pick. Oh, wow. It's been so long since this. Treant first. This is like going back to before TI3.
Yeah, this is something that, yeah, I mean, these really quick picks, like the Train Protector, I understand, but the Lich just coming out of nowhere here. Virtus.pro, I know they've favored the Lich in the past, but as a 1-2 pickup, really.
Lich is a really underrated hero, especially when you're going to run dual lanes or have Lich on the off lane. Like, Lich is such a strong solo off lane hero because he can leech experience from his own wave. He's got 315 move speed without boots. So once he gets those boots, he can outrun any of the supports. And then he can harass the supports back with Frost Blast. And when you've got a Treant Protector healing you up with that living armor, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure where they'll put him here. Whether they'll try and run a tri-lane with him, I'm not too sure about that.
Well, I'm not too sure either, because Virtus.pro, lately it seems like they have been, they've been depending on a lot of late game. A lot of late game presence. So I'm expecting them to pick up the superior late game combo here and just focus on maybe some early dual lanes, get themselves strong lanes, maybe run a dual lane mid, have a safe lane, some sort of hard carry as their safe lane with a Train Protector protecting him, and just some sort of tempo controlling off lane hero that can do some work in the mid game. That's what I'm expecting from Virtus.pro, at least reading some of their previous matches in TI.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Gyrocopter from Illidan, but 3 months ago or so, he was playing so much Morphling. And this, to me, looks like more of a Morphling game, the way this is going. Try and dodge the Wisp relocate, have the Treant Protector able to heal him up. But do they put Illidan mid with a Morph or have him on that safe lane?
I don't know, but I am completely siding with you with Morphling, because that was actually the exact hero I was thinking of when looking at these lanes and angling for late game. The question is, what does hehe do with this Wisp? Like, what are they going to combo it up with? Apparently, Virtus.pro don't really care too much about the Wisp hero. They ban away the Darkseer to start with, feeling that's one of the offlaners they don't want to deal with. Ion Shell, of course, burning down some of the living armor pretty quickly can be annoying. Other than that, there isn't an obvious wombo combo strat from hehe just yet.
They'll probably ban Tiny here, but that does leave Wisp Morphling open for hehe to go mid.
10 seconds remaining.
Brewmaster and Viper were banned away by hehe, so taking away some of those early mid-game heroes.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Sven to come back. Like, he is such a strong hero, in my opinion, in the current style the game is played. When you have that Warcry, the bonus armor, the ability to chase people down, diving behind towers with heroes like Treant, Centaur, giving even more movement speed and sustainability.
I was thinking about the Sven carry not too long ago. It was up against... I didn't see it, but it was somebody picked up a Luna, and they're running like a Luna Wisp. Or no, it was, Wisp was on the other team, and they were dealing up against a hard carry Luna. And I remember there was one really key game, and it was an American game from what I remember.
5 seconds remaining.
And it might have involved the old Dignitas, but they had a Sven carry with a Wisp on top of him up against a Luna. And I remember just watching, like 45 minutes into the game, like they delayed the game so long, and I was afraid the Luna was going to get too big. But the Sven, man, it didn't matter. He had the extra movement speed from the Wisp, and he just, every single team fight, he would pop the BKB and run at the Luna. Just focus her down first. And with that insane amount of single target physical damage, she just crippled under every single blow. And
yeah,
it was like, that from over, it was like, Jesus Christ, Sven's carry is insane.
And you can run him multiple ways. So, like, we've seen S4 run him mid about a year ago, or maybe a bit less, where you go for that, bottle blink and you run around killing everybody. Or you can run him in the hard carry, like you're saying, and build up items over time, so you can just this massively hard-hitting guy. But if you go for the blink early, you play him kind of like a Slardar, and you pop your ult Warcry blink on a support, and you kill them in, a stun and 2 hits. Someone like a Wisp just evaporates. They're going to go for a Shadow Fiend here for G. One of the less common heroes picked for him, really. I mean, we usually see him on a play-making hero like Puck, Storm, Invoker, definitely one of his favorites.
10 seconds
So I'm wondering if Illidan takes the safe lane Shadow Fiend, and we're still waiting for a G hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the SF safe lane here. Just because of, well, I mean, it could be Lich and SF mid. That's actually not too terrible. I'm just a little bit afraid of the SF being ganked up because we have a Bane being picked up now. Now, obviously, you expect Mirana to be a core, well, will be a core in this situation, so you don't expect too much early roaming, but just the possibility of like the sleep arrow or the sleep into something else kind of makes me a little bit concerned for SF. But I think with a Lich sitting mid, they could probably pull it off. Doom now being grabbed by hehe. So they're going to pick up maybe a really aggressive hero. Like I'm thinking he picks up a Blink Dagger and just every single fight blinks on the SF and dooms him out.
Yeah, and with the Bane, you can have him sitting mid and feebling the SF as well. So he's got like 15 or 20 base damage, and he can't last hit anything.
10 seconds remaining.
That's something we used to see a lot from Paladai on Cloud9 when he had Bane. Level 1 by a couple of clarities, just go and feeble that solo mid SF.
Turn to pick.
Razor's going to be manned away by hehe. That is a hero that we've seen the rise of quite a bit with Mouse playing it specifically. While the Riki banned away by Virtus.pro. Apparently they know something that I don't. I mean, they are banning away some of the Wisp heroes, but they didn't ban away one of the big key ones. And maybe that's why. They're going to go 2 glass cannon style heroes. The Tiny is still available for them, but they banned away the PA and the Riki, 2 heroes that have a little bit extra mobility over the Tiny. Like, they have that instant blink, both of them.
Yeah, and they're so good at snowballing. Like, once you start, getting the treads, drums, and then relocating with the Wisp on top of any of these heroes, even Centaur, the smoke from Riki just absolutely ruins him because he can't move, he can't cast spells. All of his, tankiness and the ability to get out of these engagements just completely gone.
5 seconds
I'm not sure about this Drow Ranger pick.
Well, we don't have... Whoa. Skywrath Mage as a core here. So that's going to be our mid position. Doom as a 1 with a Bane Mirana offlane.
I don't know.
Oh man, this is odd. The Drow Ranger, I'm okay with the Drow Ranger. Mainly because they have Overgrowth and Centaur Ultimate. With the big fear for SF and Drow Ranger is they get initiated on. Like, heroes get close range, they start putting in direct damage against these 2 heroes. Otherwise, I mean, they've got the Overgrowth to intercept some, they've got the Centaur Ultimate to provide an escape. So I think they have enough hold and mobility to make 2 glass cannons work, especially since hehe don't have a huge amount of mobility. Like, they don't have a hero like Storm Spirit or something like that. It's an insane amount of mobility. They do have the Leap mixed in with, which are all very pretty decent amount of mobility for hehe. So I actually give this a pretty even chance.
So you don't think we're going to see Skywrath mid?
That's normally, if I'm going to see a Skywrath core, for me, I automatically think it's mid.
And then have Doom safe lane, then the aggro try, yeah. Because Skywrath absolutely wrecks most mid heroes with the harass and the ability to last hit with his bolt. What is it called? Arcane Bolt?
Right. time, man. They're going to have a hard time. Like, this is all going to be about them being hehe, finding the openings to be able to initiate and winning a team fight and turning into early pushes. Because if they try and be like a little bit of split push here and there, they're going to be wrecked by the living armor and the lich armor being put on those towers. So these towers aren't going to be dying from split push at all. It's going to be all about team fight for hehe. Find a pick off, 5-man in. Find a team fight, win it, 5-man in every single time.
Well, they've got almost no AoE. So they have to find these single target pickoffs and, you know, focus one guy down, do maybe the Centaur to stop him from getting his stomp double edge off, and then focus on the Shadow Fiend with your Skywrath and Mirana. But once VP get rolling, if their laning phase goes well, it's going to be difficult for hehe to come back from a, you know, an even position.
So earlier we were talking about the laning phase for hehe. So Kai Butsu is usually the mid. So he, especially with the Null Talisman, he should be the mid here. I'm thinking Doom actually lanes with the Wisp. I was actually assuming dual lanes, not necessarily the aggro try, mainly because I don't see them winning any one position here. Like, their aggro try, I don't think is strong enough to win up against, well, maybe, I forgot it's dual lanes for Virtus.pro. The Lich would probably rotate into the bottom lane if they did run an aggro try. But for me, I'm just thinking the faster you can get Wisp to relocate levels, the faster you can start putting better pressure on the SF and the Drow.
Have you seen NS's items? He's basically pooled his entire team. Like, he's pulled the Centaur, he's pulled the SF and the Drow. He's bought Observer Wards.
Yeah, they all have shared tangos. What a nice guy.
So yeah, they've decided to go aggro try and then have the Skywrath mid.
Okay. NS, we'll
The
see where he
battle
ends up
begins.
landing up, because he may be laning with the Centaur here, that's not bad, or just a little bit of extra protection and laning control over the mid lane could be important for God. Depends on how aggressive they want to be with their laning. I would say, like, the Lich, Centaur leaves your SF really exposed. Jotum just picked up a double damage rune. Nihis just simply tethers away, so he's going to be okay. And look at that. Hehe had a win over Power Rangers with Kai Butsu playing the Skywrath Mage in the Join Dota League.
And Wisp is saved up for bottle first, so allowing Bane to buy all the support items, basically, and saving up for that bottle straight off the bat. That's going to be great for this aggressive tri lane. Something we don't see very often.
Yeah, the side lane Wisp picking up a faster bottle, but it's... I think people have like looked at the mid Wisp and gone, that is so powerful that we should always try and get a bottle on Wisp, no matter where he goes to. So he's already got it. They're going to start throwing out some wards. They don't necessarily need to block any camps here, though. With their aggro try and only the dual lanes coming out from the Virtus.pro team, they do have perfectly good control and can go for the fight just because the sleep into arrow combo.
So all of NS's levels are going to come from denying creeps. He's probably going to stack up some camps. He already has stacked up once for the SF.
They're going to go for a kill here on God, who has the courier hidden in the corner here. God's already low. Kai Butsu threatening to go for a dive here. Gets the courier in the end there. Managed to actually secure it there. I have no idea how he managed to get that vision. The two supports came in from the side. Didn't go for the dive. And the sleep comes out, but I'm not sure what their thought process here. With just sleep and tether, they have no damaging abilities. Like, I thought they were going to go for the dive on the God, but instead they get the courier from Kai Butsu, and he's like, you know what, that's good enough for me. I don't need to dive in deeper.
Do you get vision from concussive shot?
I believe you get a maybe a slight bit of vision, but I didn't think it was that big. God being chased down, the last right click's not going to be enough. Now the sleep goes out, the nuke will be able to get them first blood. It was a dive in deep, though. The Wisp has already gone down. Chips should be able to get away. Jotum can't get any extra damage in, so well worth the trade. Wisp for the SF and to get the first blood on top of it.
Like, that was a frame difference between the train getting first blood and G going down.
Insane. Now Illidan, gotta be careful here. He's gonna dive in deep, hits the arrow, Starstorm follow up. Living Armor starts doing its work though, and HWA backs himself away. He didn't want to dive up against Living Armor. It was only level 1 though, so it was gonna be taken out there. Just maybe he was afraid of an early level of Gust, pushing them back at an inopportune time. Haste is gonna be grabbed by Chips, and also healed up by Nihis, perfect. Too bad he's not level 2, though. They're going to go for a dive at this bottom lane. The pull is already happening, so it leaves them exposed. They can go for the dive deep. As long as they land the arrow, They're going to be a little bit squishy up against it, but I think with the wave pushing in, they should be going for this dive.
Well, it's a choice between diving and getting 1 kill, or getting all the experience and gold from this wave, which would be denied otherwise. So they're denying the Treant what he wants, which is level 2 Leech Seed, and Illidan is having a really rough time last hitting under the tower. So either way, they're winning. I'm just looking at this top lane. How well is Centaur doing up against the Doom?
Well, it looks like right now he's sitting at 14-2 compared to the 17-3 on the Doom. So Doom is doing well. He got a good start, I think, with being able to get the armor creep. Not one of the best in this scenarios because you're not taking too much physical damage, but it does allow him to kind of man up and fight the Centaur and trade blow for blow sometimes. I like the fact he picked up an early Ring of Bacillus as well. Really great lane control from that item. It's perfect in these one-on-one engagements. A lot of armor, extra bit of damage as well, and some mana to spam out your spells. So you're going to see him build into a Vlad's eventually.
He just missed that stack. He wanted a different creep. He's had enough of the Wildkin. Skywrath has an invis on top lane. Can they kill the Centaur?
Oh man, they're stuck in such a bad scenario here. They're just hiding under their tower constantly. Chips, maybe this is a good thing. This is a smart decision. Gives them more levels if they manage to pull it off. But they're actually, oh no, Chips gets off the brain sap, heals them a little bit more. Tether already gone out. HWA is going to be silenced, and the SF comes in to ensure the kill. So it looks like they're going to have to back themselves away. The losses for it. At the same time, the Centaur did go down at the top lane, and Doom was not actually utilized there.
No, the amount of nuke potential from that Skywrath is ridiculous. Level 3 Arcane Bolt and the slow from Concussive and the silence plus magic resist reduction. Centaur has no way to get out of that.
Yeah, and the SF is also going to be extremely threatened. As soon as that ultimate comes out, like already the nukes are forcing God back constantly, but with the ultimate, Skywrath has a guaranteed burst amount of damage that he can kill the SF. They don't even need rotations necessarily. Skywrath Mage by himself is good enough.
It's just this bot lane. He need to make something happen here. They've given away a kill on Bane because of that SF rotation down, and didn't manage to find the swap with NS. They've got the tier 1 pretty much under their control. No fortification there, no way to stop that. And where's Illidan? He's got all... Is he actually going all the way back to base on full health?
I guess so. He's picking up his boots.
AFK Fountain, guys, I've had enough.
Yeah, I think the problem is that God has to have constant bottle charges in order to deal with the Skywrath Mage. Otherwise, he's low enough that he can be easily killed. So he's constantly having to use his bottle, in which case there's no room for Illidan to get his boots. Tread's now being grabbed. NS is going to be slowed up a little bit. There goes that Skywrath Mage ultimate, but it only does a little bit as the slow didn't hit the SF. And he will be able to back themselves up, but didn't get a kill for that rotation. They still got the tier 1 tower, which is nice, and they still have Doom controlling this top lane very well.
If only they had Arrow there from Mirana, that would have been an amazing kill on the SF.
Yeah, maybe they can go for the kill still on the SF, getting close enough. Oh no! Concussive shot. Made a mistake there. If they had the slow on God, I think they had that kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, did he get out of vision, or?
I think so.
Well,
Kaibutsu, I just noticed he did the animation and...
Yeah, they got a nice new observer ward on that high ground, so there's no way that's happening again.
Right. Does give them some good vision of the SF. I like this lower one. Instead of like what is normally placed like here, this lower one gives them much better vision, direct line into this camp that's being farmed up by the SF.
Oh, it's just out of range of the sentry. Sentry's placed by NS to try and spot where these observers are.
They will see a stack. Yeah. They're going to see that one. They don't have an easy way to clear through it just yet. The Wiz trying to abuse his haste a little bit. God's going to be focused in. Kaibutsu does not have his ultimate there. This is a big mistake. Now the Centaur ultimate is going to put them close enough. Moonlight Shadow, no way it can be used to save him. And just too much over aggression. They tried to control this pull, but all they end up doing is just feed away a kill. They needed to have the mana on the Skywrath Mage.
So they've got Doom with 64% win rate and Wisp with 34.5% win rate. So they've got the highest and the lowest on hehe.
Nihis, he gets caught out. Hehe making some terrible mistakes here after they had such a good start. Nihis still going to go down to that last right click. And Virtus.pro beginning to make a bit of recovery here. Relo used the Doom on on Ozart, but he's going to be fine. Living armor, keeping him up.
And the Tranquils afterwards, so he's now full health, and the Doom is stuck in a
arrow. God's going to be caught out. This time he should fall. Starstorm will be enough burst damage to get the kill. Finally, they do land the sleep arrow combo. I think that's the first time all game long they've landed that. They should have done it so many extra times on that defensive dual lane from Virtus.pro, but they just never had the opportunity.
Very early high ground ward, high cliff ward here from the Dire. So they're going to be spotting out SF when he's trying to stack and farm up these camps. And the amount of aggressive play that they've been putting through this jungle towards mid is absolutely great. But Illidan now has room to farm.
Radiant structures
he had a really rough laning phase, and he got, what, like 2 last hits? He's now got 20 for 2, 1,300 gold on him. He could be looking towards a Midas just to come back into this. Relocate? Oh, that was a TP on my minimap. Yeah, on my minimap, it was the relocate.
I was like, I'm panicking. Chips here is going to be run over. Another big mistake. Arrow slides right through all of Virtus.pro there. And without that stun, they won't be able to get a kill. Oh, big whiff there from Kaibutsu. Just need a little bit extra damage onto NS. Won't be able to get the kill. Now it starts focusing on God. But they have so much firepower. The problem is they're not utilizing it well. They should have the opportunity to blow up these heroes over and over and over again, but they keep failing in their execution, and it's costing them a lot of time. Like, this Wisp is still level 4. The support's low level because they constantly be trying to go for these kills, and because they're not actually successfully getting them, they're not getting that source of experience. Looks like the Doom was able to get the kill on the Centaur just barely. My God, he's going to teleport back to base.
Yeah, and taking the tier 1 so early is indicative of, well, what teams do later is indicative of how cohesive they are and how experienced they are, because they took that tier 1 and then they all moved towards mid lane. Like, all 3 of them. Mirana stayed for a little while to try and farm, but that gave space for Illidan to farm on the bot lane. He got plenty of last hits, and they're sort of running around now trying to grasp onto these kills.
Oh, God knows about this too. NS told them. He knew exactly what was going to happen. Starstorm comes in. They might not have enough damage. The Skywrath Mage ultimate comes in. NS is going to fall as well. So last nukes will be able to get him. Jotum held up. No leech seed for him. Moonlight Shadow being used, but Dust goes out. Now they're in some serious trouble. Overgrowth being used. We do have another Stampede that they can go for here. If they want to try and run down Kaibutsu. Sleep goes out. Kaibutsu trying to get himself away. Sleep goes down. Maybe they can actually kill this Centaur as Relo comes in. He does have enough for a Thunderclap, but the Stomp will put him in his place. 112 health if only he had level death.
If only Kaibutsu had a bit more mana to get some more arcane bolts off, that would have been great for them.
That's it.
The Wisp now is farming bot lane, so he's going to be level 6 really, really shortly.
I'm worried though. I'm worried that hehe are giving up way too much room to Virtus.pro. Drow Ranger now has treads as well as a Ring of Aquila. And instead of a Blink Dagger, we're going to be seeing the movement speed build plus the early mech coming out from the Doom, which I don't mind if they were actually getting these kills earlier. But I feel like they're not getting enough early hero kills that they aren't really going to be able to push in so quickly. I think that Virtus.pro are farmed up enough that by the time he start going in for like some of these later tier 2s, Virtus.pro will get farmed enough that they can start contesting.
Centaur needs his blink desperately though. Like, he has lost his lane against this Doom who has
Radiant's middle tower
these drums going for a mech, like you said. How does Smile
Whoa.
the blink?
Aggressive play there from Relo as he's going to be diving in deep here. We definitely have Nihis providing that extra bit of movement speed. They know they just need a couple of right clicks to ensure the kill, and they get him. The relocate will pull him out if necessary. Meanwhile, the engagement in middle. They killed the Centaur. That is beautiful. They got the 2 most important heroes, I think. Like, God obviously is important, but they shut him down a couple of times. They finally get a kill on Illidan, and they also kill the Centaur before he can pick up his blink.
And they only lost to Bane as well. I don't even know how they did that. I guess Skywrath ulti is just too damn strong.
Yeah, probably. Maybe he's Bane sacrificed his life in order to get a good sleep arrow combo. SF does build into drums, not a big surprise. He needs some small stat items right now. And their extra mobility will always help. Virtus.pro, another ward being spotted out. But thankfully, the you kind of have to, when you have this much pressure and the enemy supports are getting a lot of farm, they have a lot of extra gold to buy counters. You have to be a little bit more creative with the use of your wards. Nihis going to be blown up real quickly, gets the silence onto Arzar, but it doesn't matter. Nihis already taken out. Kaibutsu's going to fall to the last hits as well. And they don't go. Chips slowed down by that one frost arrow, enough for them to be able to get in range, and Chips falls as well. I don't think they can turn this. It's just HWA and Relo. In fact, Relo got way too close. He's going to have to pop a drum charge here if he hopes to be able to get away. The little bit of extra spots, he's going nowhere in the process. And he gets cleaned up. Hehe making devastating errors there. Losing 4 heroes in a row against Virtus.pro, who has such good late game potential and really good recovery. Between the SF and the Drow Ranger being able to quickly farm. They cannot afford to make those kind of errors.
It's not just that, though. The SF and Drow don't need farm to hit hard.
Wisp? Oh, Jesus.
That was close.
The last nuke got, oh my god, he came back in! The nuke finishes off. Now the feed script gonna go down. Illidan, he's gonna be taken out. God threatening the ultimate there, but not releasing just yet. Knew he couldn't save his ally. So, in the end, hey, at least they got the Drow Ranger, but that was still... Oh, well played. HWA comes in from the side. They're sewing up God as well, who now dropping the ultimate. Starstorm goes down as well. God should be cleaned up. The overgrowth, though. He has a leap. HWA, maybe he can get close enough. Oh, he's got a haste rune as well. He's easily got this. 1-2 shot. Gets the kill. This is what we wanted to see. This is exactly how you win the Dota game. Jotum's going to be chased down now a little bit farther. Gets away just in time. They're not going to pursue much more. Smile. Oh, man. 2-man stomp. Not going to be able to finish off Kaibutsu, though. Silence goes down on him, now being held up. They don't have any extra vision, though. The supports had the dust earlier, but...
Is under attack.
Freaking Russian
Dota,
man.
Fortified.
It's all about it. It's all about it.
Like we thought,
well,
that
really, it's booting Dota.
We thought that Wisp death was bad, but that completely turned around when Illidan got caught out by a nice Fiend's Grip and got absolutely shredded by hehe. They love these sort of snowball, literally bulldozer lineups where they can run into an enemy with Scorched Earth, pick someone off, then take another, then take another.
Yeah, they've got
just falling into their trap every single time.
Yeah, they've got the sort of scenario where they got so much single target pickoff potential that any 3 or 4 of these heroes, like you get the sleep arrow combo, that hero's dead. You get the doom on them, they're out of the fight, possibly dead. Skywrath Mage, he's burst amount of damage with Mystic Flare, another hero dead. Like, they pick such a squishy lineup for Virtus.pro that they get caught out by any one of these big abilities, and it's executed well by hehe. It's a free kill for them.
Roshan has
now Roshan's going to go down. Aegis going to be given to the Skywrath Mage. I like that play. And he's about to pick up a Force Staff, which changes Skywrath Mage and his play quite a bit. Jotum threatening to throw down the overgrowth. They want to use this high ground advantage. Silence goes down on 3. Now 2-man stomp as well. HWA trying to go for Jotum here. Not going to be able to finish him off. Now the lead sheet goes out. Doom onto NS. Stopping that Chain Frost. Here comes that Aegis coming back into play. Akaibutsu laying down some of that magic damage. Gets the Centaur, but they're losing this fight so badly. HWA still stuck on the cliff. Does get off the Starstorm. Maybe he can actually get this kill. The Mjolnir's doing work. Illidan's going to fall. He's silenced up. God's going to be able to get that last hit. Nihis, he's got nowhere to run. He just embraces death. Faces up against God, gets in the urn, hoping to get the tick kill, but it won't actually go their way. Virtus.pro barely able to win the fight, but win it they did, keeping one hero, God, alive, level 14, and they took away the Aegis from hehe.
Did you see what the Mirana was doing on this high ground? Cancelling attacks constantly? Like she didn't want to get spotted. If she just continued hitting, she would have died.
Tower is under attack.
But I think the winner of this fight is definitely G. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, unbelievable. He now has 101 last hits, 514 gold per minute. He's got 8,000 gold. He's going to have himself a BKB, and that changes things drastically for hehe. Like, now you have to use the Fiend's Grip on him or use the Doom on him. And even if you use the Doom on him, God is still hitting really hard physical damage-wise. Like, he may not have his nukes or his ultimate to throw out if he gets caught out by the Doom, but he's still going to be able to just, if he pops his BKB, turn and fight. Because he won't be taking that bit of damage, he just won't be able to lay down raises. So I think they have to use the Fiend's Grip on him every single chance they get.
But they're still going to be really careful when they try and concave on him, like they've been doing. Let's say they catch him mid and get the Fiend's Grip, and they're sort of, focusing around in a semicircle. If NS comes in with a Chain Frost, and Smile can blink in, get a double edge, they can get wiped just as easily as they find a single target pickoff onto VP.
Don't you dare.
And we're still yet to see the peak of Drow. Picks up lifesteal. What do you reckon next? She's got some stats, got lifesteal. Do you go for BKB now just to try and sustain through magic damage? Because there's Doom and Fiend's Grip Do you give them another target, which they have to lock down?
Do you go Mask of Madness on this hero? Like, it's an item pickup that's happened before. And maybe this sort of scenario where if they focus on the SF, Mask of Madness will allow me to carry just like the SF can. It's a risky pickup, but when you're running 2 different glass cannons, and they don't have an obvious big team fight ult. Like if they had a Tidehunter ultimate, I would say forget about it. Bane's getting caught on the side, eliminated, Moonlight Shadow being used. Centaur's gonna jump in here with his ultimate. Doom guns go down on God, but a complete whiff there from Kai Butsu. Now the Chain Frost's gonna start bouncing around. Bounces to the Mirana, bounces to the Skywrath Mage. They've already taken a lot of damage here. The relocate will be able to save reload just in time. Now the slow goes out. They're gonna come back in here. There, yeah, they want to turn and fight this. Tree's gonna be silenced up, taking down. Quickly, God pops the BKB and they're on the retreat. They got to get out of here. That damage is too much. Nihis comes back in. Unfortunately, doesn't have the mana there as the overcharge takes away his bit for Tethered. They're going to chase and pursue here. BKB slow onto God. Chips trying to catch up in range of that Fiend's Grip. Can't quite get it just yet. He's uphill trying to get away. Illidan chase down, teleport in. God, can he get out? He's revealed. Fiend's Grip grabs him. They get him a team wipe. Hehe get themselves a team wipe after one really bad team fight. I thought they just threw away any early advantage they had, but now they're back into it once again.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, especially losing Bane so damn early that Fiend's Grip got completely out of the fight. Then dooming the SF, like you said, he's still hitting so hard. He's got full souls. He's still absolutely
Radiant's
wrecking
middle
you.
tower
I just
has
think
fallen.
that it was VP's mistake continuing up here, trying to go up to the high ground. They backed off, 2 seconds too late. That tree
Radiant's
getting caught
middle
out and getting
tower
killed
is
here.
under
The
attack.
SF forced into a position where he has to BKB and ult to try and kill somebody. But they didn't have Chain Frost left. They didn't have Smile to come in with a Stomp double edge to pick someone off, which they desperately need. And I didn't see where Illidan was. When SF was using his ult here, Illidan was somewhere in the back end.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Misclick, misclick.
Yeah, I think that was a misclick.
There was no illusions middle or
Radiant's
anything like
top
that.
tower is under
It's not
attack.
from what I saw, so that was just them trying to go for a smoke gank. Pop the Centaur ultimate, now it's not going to be up for this next team fight. That's actually a really big deal because this Centaur ultimate is good for engaging, but also disengage for some of these glass cannons if they can get the room. Centaur jumped in, double stomp, gonna focus on HWA. Sleep already down on HWA. It's gonna be saving him a lot. Doom is on God, but just turns and fights. Overgrowth is holding in these heroes. Arrow blocked up by the BKB onto God. They're not going to be able to. They're trying to chase him down here. BKB wears out. They don't have enough damage here. Illidan pushing back the rest of Hehe, and so far it's just Kai Butsu has fallen as the teams clash together, but both backing up, licking their wounds. Hehe may try and still go for a fight if they get some sort of pickup with an arrow or something like that, but
Chain Frost is ready now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
So that's something they
attack.
definitely have to be wary of. But then again, there's no BKB on the SF. Illidan is going towards a BKB of his own, but Mjolnir finished up for that Mirana.
Mirana's gotten big very fast, man. Arrow's gonna come in, searching through, not able to grab anybody
Dyer's
just
top
yet.
tower
Arzard is
is under
revealed by
attack.
that one.
Dyer's top
Pops the
tower
Centaur
has
ultimate in
fallen.
defensive position there. They did get the tower, but the jump in. Reload trying to provide some interception. They want this fight. They can't let him get away with this. And that's going to be taken down. Now God turns, starts fighting, gets a good raise. Kai Butsu getting low. One last hit. Will be able to take him out there. God, though, is being focused on Reload. The Mjolnir active, doing some serious work. Meanwhile, HWA just rolling through heroes left and right. Another team fight for Hehe.
Holy shit, that static charge, the Mjolnir active, wow. If that Doom had Centaur Stomp instead of that Frost Armor, which he does have, he would have caught 3 when he blinked in there. But nevertheless, when they turned to hit him, lightning was spreading across all here. I think Lich died before he
Radiant's top
he died
tower
before he
is
got his
under
ultimate off.
attack.
He got hit by like, Static Charge and then Scorched Earth finished him off.
So HWA
Radiant's
and
top
Reload
tower
both
has
live throughout the
fallen.
team fight. They get themselves a tier 2. So a big gold advantage should be going their way. 8,000 gold lead and about a 4,000 experience lead. Now they should be ahead, but they need a big lead right now because the late game, very obviously, Virtus.pro, they're going to get to a point where this physical damage is so overwhelming, and so they got to end this game soon. I think they have to go for Roshan next, use that Aegis to push uphill. I think that's their biggest hope. Doom, quick question. Doom, does it reveal any of Illidan's passives?
Does it reveal?
Take away. Precision aura as well as marksmanship.
That's a good question. I don't think it does. I don't think it takes them away.
Yeah,
but...
I don't think so either, but... Because I'm trying to think, like, the SF is obviously your doom target, but going on later into the game, do you consider dooming the Drow Ranger? If all things being equal, right, positioning and everything else, which one are you going to be dooming going into the late game? I think it's going to be SF. If you can't take away that precision aura as well as the marksmanship with just the doom, I think you have to focus on the SF then.
No, it only disables frost arrows.
Dire's
I'm
middle
gonna have a look
tower
at
is
Shadow
under
Fiend.
attack.
What does it disable from him?
Shouldn't take with Zora. Disengage there with the Centaur ultimate. They all get
Radiant's
themselves
bottom
away.
tower
Jump in,
is
actually.
under attack.
Doom already up on God. Reload taking a lot of damage here for the team, but he's just trying to keep himself alive so the rest of the team can come in. Chain Frost, Overgrowth. Oh God, the Chain Frost is going to rip through all of this team. Reload trying to get himself away with the Moonlight Shadow. Another dust being popped. He turns, fights God, but he doesn't get the kill. Chips won't be able to get it either. Finally, he does go down. HWA comes in with his right click. Somehow Chips is still alive. The static charge, man, doing work again. HWA turns, fights Illidan. Silence up though, and Harzard comes in with the big cleanup. Kaibutsu, the only hero left alive for hehe. And Virtus.pro might have just won themselves a big fight. Well, they did win the fight, but can they actually take Tier 1 tower and
Dire's
take a
middle
lot of map
tower is
control
under
off of
attack.
this?
All thanks to Treant. And yeah, Drow Ranger's so good at ripping through towers. That tier 1's not going to last very long. But that overgrowth, stopping the Fiend's grip on Illidan so he had space to, move slightly backwards. And yeah, Doom does not
Dire's
disable
middle
those.
tower has fallen.
It's always so finicky, man. It's always so finicky. As soon as they change, like
Dire's
it used to be, it
middle
didn't remove
tower is
any of
under
those.
attack.
And then
And
they're like,
Stealer is suddenly like, oh, I can't use Feast and I can't do this.
yeah, and then there was another round, I think, of some extra passives. They're like, oh, it should probably remove this too. So not all the passives obviously get removed. And I didn't think it removed Precision Orb, but
Apparently it stops the crit of Juggernaut
really,
and Mana Break of Anti-Mage. Yeah,
does
hero
it stop
abilities-
some of the other crits?
Hero abilities
Dire's
disabled by
top
Mute.
tower is
Janada
under attack.
on Bounty. Drunken Brawl. It looks like it disables most crits.
Okay.
Backtrack, Time Lock. Wow. It disables Tidebringer as well?
What about what? I just keep thinking Wraith
I-
King's critical, and I just can't believe that gets disabled.
I guess it disables most things that are on, have a hidden cooldown. Like Greater Bash and Time Lock have a hidden cooldown. Today I learned.
Today I learned. Roshan going to be focused on by hehe. They're very slow at doing it though. And Virtus.pro, if they get a whiff of this one, man, that Chain Frost last game, last fight, the Overgrowth into the Chain Frost, the team fight was lost right there, and I think hehe saw it coming, and they just started backing themselves away. Illidan already copping a lot of damage, but a huge stomp, landing on 3. Now they're surrounding these heroes. HWA is ripping through these heroes with the Mjolnir, but not fast enough. Doom is already up on God, but the
Dire's
pipe being
bottom
activated.
tower
They're
is
so
under
damn
attack.
tanky. God's gonna be able to live through a little bit longer. Another great Overgrowth, and the Chain Frost bouncing around. It's doing too much damage. Nihid's gonna go down. Jotum's gonna fall to
Dire's
HWA's
bottom
right clicks.
tower
No,
is
he's getting
under
away with
attack.
Nature's Guide. He gets out. HWA.
No way.
He's the last hero left alive, and Centaur jumps in front. HWA would fall, and sure enough, 4 heroes stay alive for
Dire's
Virtus.pro.
middle tower is
4
under
heroes,
attack.
all of them very low.
Dire's structures
He
are
get wiped once
fortified.
again.
I was wondering what the hell NS was doing. He walked up here and then realized, shit, I'm in the wrong neighborhood, backed off, and managed to get the most perfect Chain Frost you could ever imagine, just bouncing between all these
Dire's
heroes.
middle tower
But yeah,
has
that
fallen.
arrow where the Mirana leapt this way, sent an arrow backwards and hit NS. He was
Dire's
like
middle
surrounded by a
tower is
load
under
of heroes,
attack.
but he was the only one who got hit and died.
Yeah. And now, hehe, they're bad at taking Roche. Virtus.pro, not so much, man. They got a ton of physical damage between these two heroes, and Roshan is going to drop real quickly here. So Virtus.pro
Roshan
now
has
in
fallen
complete
to the
control of this game.
Radiant.
After 2 different wipes like that, as well as getting the Aegis, they now have the BKB up for Illidan. They've got 2 different heroes that if they time their BKBs correctly, will be able to turn and just fight, no matter what sort of pressure they're under.
Yeah, just take a look at the gold graph. Like 5 or 6 minutes ago, he had about a 12k lead, and that's just gone to 0 pretty much.
Centaur also has a blade mail, so Skywrath Mage, careful with your ultimate, friend. That's not one you really want to deal with. Halberd's going to be up soon on the Wisp. I'm looking for items that are going to change the game for hehe. It looks like HWA may be building into an MKB preemptively for the future butterflies on both Shadow Fiend and the Drow Ranger. And Relo, I kind of feel like they need some sort of instant stun, but they just don't really have anything. It seems like every single team fight, these two glass cannons should always be able to get off their BKB, unless Doom is the one initiating and gets a Doom off on one of them. In which case, they still can turn and fight, they just won't have the BKB magic immunity.
I think they need to Doom the Lich or Treant, because if they Fiend's Grip SF or the Drow, the Treant is always coming in with Overgrowth, and then the Lich is coming in with a Chain Frost to stop that Fiend's Grip. So they need to Doom whoever of those supports is closest and more threatening to that Fiend's Grip, because they desperately need to get one of those cores into a position where Mirana can hit them, and they can get the Skywrath ulti on them for at least 2 seconds.
Is under attack.
Moonlight Shadow being used, and the rotation over.
I think Smile spotted the Doom going for this then.
Yep. Oh, he gets caught by the arrow. Can they actually do the? Where's the reveal? Where's the reveal, guys? Oh no, they don't have a reveal for him. That should have been a free kill. That would have been a crucial pick-off for them. The Centaur, such a big.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, hopefully they realize it. Bringing themselves some counter wards now.
Top tower is under attack.
Another arrow does land on Illidan this time around. They try and blow him up a little bit, but just not possible. Relo threatening. Right now, they do see the Centaur earlier. Double Stomp is going to go in. Fiend's Grip is going down, but he interrupted by the Chain Frost. Now silenced up. Chips, he's going to go down. God's facing him down HWA. He can do nothing. Doom is up on Illidan, but Relo just going to get torn apart. He's held in by the Overgrowth, and 2 glass cannons focus him down. Tier 2 is going to be going down, and I think Durka, this is going to be our 4th place position.
I was just about to say, this is pretty much game over. VP are known for throwing a little bit. Just a little bit, but I don't think they can throw this game.
Tower is under attack.
Comes from the heart.
It stops Tiny's cleave, but not other grow effects. That's so ridiculous. Static charge, doing a little bit more. Jotum getting very low there, trying to focus on HWA. The silence lasting so long, they can't leap away. One more hit, they can't get it. Nihis going to go down though. God, force staffed a little bit farther forward. Arrow does land on NS, a little bit extra. They're going to focus on God here, trying to take him down. Does finally bring down that Aegis, but the jump in. Arzark getting a 3-man stun. Now the SF's going to come back into play. Pops his BKB, and a quick Daedalus crit is all it takes to finish off the Bane. God runs out of his BKB. The attempt to jump away. Level Death will stop his attempt at a teleport, and he does go down. Kaibutsu wants some more, though. Illidan trying to teleport away. They don't have anything to stop it.
Okay, about them not throwing. It doesn't count if they start diving towards the fountain when they should be taking Rex. Like, when they full staff G, I thought, oh god, here we go. Here we go. I'm putting static charge on that Doom, and then the SF hitting him so that the Lich died. Just a tragic turn of events for VP, really. You know, they're still in a commanding lead, with Illidan now having that BKB and 4.2k gold in the bank ready to spend.
What do you build in here? Like, do you go for the butterfly? Or do you go for something that's going to give you a little bit better stats, like a Manta? Because he should realize MKB is going to be the item choice here for HWA. So if he goes butterfly, it will be countered out soon. It's a great item for a Drow Ranger, but at the same time, if HWA win another team fight, they're going to have MKB, in which case Mirana will just focus on the Lich every single time.
Or do you go for a Mjolnir of your own?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe. That's not a bad idea. Put it on the Centaur.
Yeah.
Tier 2 is going to fall here. Virtus.pro looks like they're giving it up. And it's a hard tier 2 to defend. It makes sense to give it up.
Like, if you had Mask of Madness instead of Helm of the Dominator, I would say definitely go for Mjolnir, because of that attack speed. You'd just be lightning everywhere. The fact he has Helm, you know, leans more towards crit. Oh, he's picked up crit. Okay.
Pure crits. Pure crits. Both the SF and him both picking up Daedalus.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Speaking of the SF, does have another 1,200 gold, so you may see him build into something new here.
He needs a new BKB. It's on 4 seconds already. 32 minutes into the game, and he actually needs to buy a new BKB. Because there's Halberd now on the Doom, and... was it Wisp? Wisp nearly has Halberd as well, about 1,000 gold away from
Dire's
that.
top tower
So once your 4-second
attack.
BKB is up, unless you can stop the Fiend's Grip, you're going to get disarmed constantly.
Virtus.pro, 1 in a 5-man through bottom once again. See if they can finally get that Rax. You start pinging over them, they may try and see if they can find a pick off here, but they won't find anybody. Do you think they should be going uphill? Do you think they should be trying to be so aggressive?
The way the fights have been going, they've only been winning when the Treant and Lich have been able to get them out of bad situations. So NS comes in with a nice Chain Frost onto the Bane, and Jotum comes in with the Overgrowth onto the Mirana so she can't hit anyone. But if they get caught by a smoke from hehe, which might happen soon, then they're going to be in a really rough spot, because how do they counter-initiate when they want to be the ones who counter-initiate? I think the main thing is going to be Smile jumping in with that Blade Mail pipe and trying to soak as much damage and focus from hehe as possible before the SF and Drow will really have to pop their BKBs. Because they've got to hold on to those BKBs as long as possible.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Another
Dyer's
tier 2
structures are
tower does fall.
fortified.
They're going to be running into each other here, but hehe are the first to back up.
And I think Doom has to pick up a Centaur. Like, crit is nice and all. You're giving the Mirana more attack damage and you're getting crit on yourself. But if you've got that Centaur, how many times have we seen him blink in and wish he had that stun?
Yeah. And it would provide you that solid disable that you're really lacking right now on hehe. They don't have any sort of instant stun to be able to the BKB heroes before they pop it. Now, Centaur stun, I was going to mention that earlier. The problem is the Centaur stun animation is a little bit long, so they need something a bit better as the initiating factor, but you're right, there have been so many situations where Centaur stun would have actually won them the team fight just because he was in 2 or 3 heroes.
And now we've got 4 staff up on Treant and Lich. This is going to get more and more difficult for the Dire.
Yeah, it looks like hehe are just holding out for as long as they can, waiting for Virtus.pro to push up. They do have some, if they can actually let this game go later, they do get themselves a lot of pickoff potential with like the Scythe of Ice pickup for the Skywrath Mage. Makes your nukes incredibly powerful, but also gives you that single target disable that you're lacking. So they can blow up one hero. If they get the initiation, they can just blow up one hero real quickly. And then the Doom can start focusing on someone else. But it's very, very situational late game for them. Like, obviously, the Drow Ranger and the SF will overpower 99% of the time what you have to throw at them. But if they're just able to execute correctly, get the right Scythe of Ice, blow up one hero with the Skywrath Mage, again, get the Fiend's Grip on someone else, the Doom on a third party, they do have very easy ways to dismantle Virtus.pro no matter how strong they are.
Are both teams going to smoke here? I'm pretty sure VP are going to smoke and try and go for a movement like this, but well, Moonlight Shadow's just good enough. They're going to come around this other way.
They're going to go for Roshan, actually.
Look at the line that VP drew, almost identical to what I did.
They don't know about Roshan. This is a great idea as long as Chips doesn't reveal it. They do see Chips right now, the smoke up. They're going to be revealed now by the smoke. As they start going in, Roshan's low. Arzar knows he's going to jump in, get the 2-man stomp. Good start, already being silenced though. And the HWA is going to be able to jump himself away. And as almost eliminated before you get off the Chain Frost, is going to throw out a reload. Not going to do much. On the side though, God fighting up against 2 is going to be able to get both thanks to that overgrowth. The bounces continue. 3 heroes already down. Virtus.pro win the team fight easily. And now going to be able to take Roshan. That's going to be Aegis as well as Cheese this time around.
Like, again, you're dooming the Drow, but once again, Treant coming to save the life of G with that massive overgrowth, catching 3 here and stopping the Fiend's Grip on G. Otherwise, that would be the SF dead, completely, you know, back to rights. Now it's threatening
Dyer's
on the doors of
middle
the tier
tower
3
is under
tower mid
attack.
and open racks on bot.
Buybacks, buybacks, buybacks. Doom has a buyback. No buyback for HWA.
Dyer's bottom barracks are under attack.
I'm thinking this is
Dyer's
going to be
bottom barracks
easy
has
racks.
fallen.
And Virtus.pro,
Dyer's
I'm not sure if they
bottom barracks
want to
has
really
fallen.
try to push into a tier 3. Maybe force the buyback and then back themselves out. They're just so far ahead now. Oh, Jesus, look at God just
Dyer's
tanking
middle
up that thing.
tower has
Jesus,
fallen.
he's got a Satanic on top of his Aegis. He stands in front, gonna take a
Dyer's
second set of
middle
racks here,
barracks
reload.
has fallen.
Forced back a little bit by the souls. Illidan now focusing on the Bane on the side. Centaur jumps in, finishes them off real quickly. Kadbutsu runs too far forward, and now going to be caught in the process. And Virtus.pro ending the game right here, right now. Gonna call it. GG, well played. Virtus.pro will be your 4th place in the playoffs, the European qualifier.
Some shaky moments, them knowing what's at stake if they lose this game going into that tiebreaker situation, but nevertheless, they were behind for the majority of that early game, what, 15 minutes or so, found some really good team fights, a few slip-ups from hehe, but nevertheless, VP coming out victorious.
Yeah, well done. Absolutely well done by Virtus.pro. It's sad because I'm looking at the stats and I'm seeing Virtus.pro 4-4 Power Rangers did their last match. They actually went up to 4-5, but they won't have a chance. So Virtus.pro with that 1 win, get 5-4. They're going to be taking the 4th place, joining Team Coast, Mouse Sports, as well as Roxkiss in the playoffs. We have 1 more match to go for the round robin. Doesn't really mean much except for 1st or 2nd place. And it is going to be between Roxkiss and Mouse Sports, and that will be happening on the EU Hub channel. So Twitch TV/EU Hub is where you can find that match. Big shout out to Durka for joining me earlier at Durka Dota. You got any shout outs, anything like that, man?
No, I've shouted out so much recently.
You know, you're one of my few casters.
Everyone, the viewers.
Yes.
The teams.